I am thrilled to be part of this. I think it's just testament to how much Europe is able to deliver on innovation and science. And we need to actually celebrate a little more often some of the things that we do right. This institution has a habit of doing things sometimes not quite in the best way, sometimes not quite as simply as it might. But when it comes to SMEs, we all appreciate, and I think it's fairly obvious from the rhetoric and the speeches you have, both in plenary and in committees, that we all understand the role of SMEs in the European economy. We all understand that over 90% of employment in Europe comes from SMEs. So we really are very aware that we need to try and find ways in which to actually give you opportunities to grow in order that the entire economy grows on the back of your efforts. And so biotech for me is a real champion in all of this, and I'm glad to see that in every piece of work that's coming out of the Parliament at the moment, and indeed the Commission, biotech is at the heart of most of the innovation programs that are out there, and certainly even most of the funding programs, there is a very strong element for biotech. I share Philippe's comment that we need to take some of the emotion out of some of the technology that's there. Sometimes it gets hijacked, and people who don't maybe understand some of the real science actually take up some of the very popular notions with regards to biotech itself. But the EU institutions are well placed to help you. As well as having a very large central budget for research, we obviously do have abilities to actually help your businesses in terms of not burdening you with the regulation that other bigger companies may be able to absorb. We need to make sure that the EU patent initiatives work and that they actually service your needs as European companies. And we certainly need to make sure that access to the funding streams is easier for you to actually reach. I think we have got lots of work in progress. There's a lot of venture capital fund initiatives going on where the EU itself is putting up a venture capital fund. We also have a social entrepreneurship fund. They're all going through at the moment the Parliament and have got a major focus on them. And even today in Econ and last night in negotiations, we are actually trying to make it easier for those of you who are actually coming to the capital markets, that you can actually have a separate category in the capital markets called an SME growth market, where you can actually have some special treatment to actually make things easier for you in terms of your listings and make it easier for investors to actually gain access to yourselves as companies for them to invest in. So we are trying at all levels, even though I get buried in the Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee for most of my time here. I do actually spend a large amount of that looking at ways in which we can facilitate companies like yourselves and make sure that you've got all the tools in the box that you need to help grow the economy on behalf of all of us. But not just grow the economy, do all the good that you're also doing. You can't help but be moved by some of the orphan drugs that you're developing, and I think it's really important. When we talk about fossil fuels and we talk about green economies, we had some perfect examples of some of those more sustainable technologies presented to us tonight. I also have to say a huge thank you to EuropaBio for actually having the SME platform. I think it does give a focus for the work, and it does actually give us something to concentrate around and to celebrate what's going on. And I really do hope that in the way that they bring all the policy discussions together, the funding and the regulation together, that we as MEPs can actually support their work going forwards. But congratulations to you all. I'm very pleased to be part of it.